Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's episode we are going to mastering Promise APIs. Let me ask you a quick question. If you launch three network call at once, one is very fast, one is slow, another one is sometimes fails. How would you decide when to show in the UI? Today we will crack that with four Promise utilities that every developer should know. That is, first one is the Promise.all, Promise.allSettled, Promise.race and Promise.any. By the end of this video, you will know exactly when to use which one. So our agenda is, first we will talking about theory part for all the four utilities. After that we will write code. Let's take a scenario. We have one is a travel dashboard app where we have to check the flight prices and room availability and a currency exchange rate. So our first part is Promise.all. What does Promise.all do? Promise.all actually taking array of promises and waits for every promises to succeed. If anyone fails, the whole thing's error out immediately. Think of it like all or nothing. So our example is, so we have here three promises. One is fetch flight, another one is check hotels, and another one is get fixed rate. The fetch flight resolve in 6 seconds, and the check hotel resolve in 9 seconds. Check hotel resolve in 9 seconds. And the last one is get fixed rate. It will resolve basically in 3 seconds. When we run these things, if it is success, for an example, all of these threes are giving, there is no getting any error. All of these threes are success. So it will give the result after 9 seconds, not 3 seconds or 6 seconds. Once all of the values are ready, then only they will return an array of three values in original order. But here is the catch. If any chance our one of the promises get rejected, for an example, get fixed rate rejected, so what it will happen after 3 seconds? After 3 seconds, it will return, it will reject, right after 3 seconds it will reject it. It will not wait for check hotel, or it will not wait for fetch flight to give the result. So our next part is Promise.all settled. So what actually Promise.all settled? So now let's understand. Here we have flight prices. We get the flight prices, but somehow we didn't get the hotel availability. Somehow we didn't get this one. So if you are using Promise.all, this time we will not get the response, right? Just because one of those fails means everything fails. But now what we want these two also, and we want to get the reason what is basically why it was failing. So here Promise.all settled comes into picture. So Promise.all settled actually wait for everything to finish. It will wait. For an example, this one is, it takes 3 seconds, and the check hotel is taking 6 seconds, and this get fixed rate is taking 2 seconds this time. So it will wait. Till 6 seconds is not completed, it will wait until all these things, if it is fails also, if it is success also, it will wait. And after that, once everything is settled, after that it will give an reason also, like which one is failed and why it was failed. So our next part is Promise.race. What actually Promise.race do? Promise.race settled as soon as the first promise settled, either success or failure. It doesn't care. It's literally a race. The earliest finisher decides the outcome. For an example, we have here three API. This one takes 2 seconds, this one takes 4 seconds, and this one takes 1 second. For an example, this one giving the error. So then also it will return first the get fixed rate, because it took the less time. This is 1 second, and these 2 seconds and 4 seconds. So that is how it will work actually. After Promise.race, so our next part is Promise.any. Suppose you have multiple endpoints and you only want the first successful promise. So that is basically this Promise.any do. It's wait for first success. Reject are ignored unless every promise is fails. If by any chance all the promises are fails, that time it will giving the aggregate error. Quick decision table is there. So when you need result or immediate failure, that time you can use all. And when you want full report, success plus failure always, that time you have to use all settled. When you care only about whoever finishes first, success or fail, you have to use race. and want the fast success, ignore all the failures, you can use any. Now without wasting our time, let's code it out one by one. As you can see here, we have three functions. One is the fetch flight, another one is check hotels, and this get fixed rate. This one is taking 600 millisecond, and check hotel is taking 300 millisecond, and get fixed rate is taking 900 millisecond. So first we will check with the success path. So here we are just calling with Promise.all, and we are passing in array format all these three, and after that we are just consoling. If you run this one, you will see after 900 millisecond it's giving our it gives our result. What gives us the result? The everything, the route, the first one, that is the flight details. It was giving flight details, city San Francisco, and the third one is pair whatever INR to USD, whatever we wish to do. Everything is working fine, right? If tomorrow if tomorrow we will increase this one 300 millisecond to maybe 2000 milliseconds, so it will wait 2000 millisecond only. After that only it will like give our result. So that is how the Promise.all working in success path. Now here is the tweaky. What we will do is we will just, now we wanted to see how it will behave in the failure path. So here what we have done, if you see here, should fail. If it is fail, default parameter we have given false. So we just have to pass this check hotel details to fail true. If we'll pass here true, so it will behave like false. It will reject it. And what it will return in the error, hotel service unavailable. We will run this one, although this is fail after 300 milliseconds. So it will not wait for 900 milliseconds. After 300 seconds only it will like give us the error, uncaught error, hotel service unavailable, right? So here, this is how Promise.all works. Now, if you want everything, as we already same input, we want to get. So now, as you can see, our code is stopped. Like because of one failure, it's all settled doesn't handle. So we want to get the flight details and the fixed rate, the data we want. Even though check hotels is fail, we doesn't care. So what we will do, we will just, instead of all, we will use all settled. ACTTLED, all settled. That's it. Now if you'll run this one, it will wait. It will wait for 900 millisecond only, because same input, but all settled, you always get a complete report after completing all the promises. After 900 millisecond only, it was giving the result. If you see here carefully, they have status. There is another key is there in the object status. For the success, it is giving the fulfill, and for the failure, it was giving the rejected with the reason, proper reason why it's failed. So, and the third one is fulfill. This is the both is fulfill, and the yeah, that is how it was working. Like if it is rejected also, they will give the reason. So okay, so our next is Promise.race. How Promise.race is working. See here, same thing we have done. Although Promise.race means the earliest finisher. So it will check which one is the fast. If it is resolved, this one is fast, so it will return this one. For an example, the flight details is taking 100 millisecond. So it will, after 100 millisecond only, you can see instantly that they gives the fast promise is resolved, like the flight details is resolved. If tomorrow this one takes 600 millisecond and this one 300, so if you run this one, now you will see the check hotels is resolved. This is first success path. Now we will check as the failure path also. If we will pass here true, let's run this one. If you run this one, although if you run this one, you can see, because the 300 millisecond is rejected, but it is the earliest rejected. That's why it was giving the 300 millisecond. As you can see here, it was rejected with the check hotel details, but it is the earliest rejected. If you change here 600 to 1,000, if you change here 600 to 100, now if you run, it will not reject it, because they want the fastest settled. They want the fastest settled. Settled doesn't mean the success. So that is how. Okay, so our next is Promise.any. So any waits for first success, any doesn't wait for first failure. Whatever will be the first, they will work like that only. So here what we will do is, here we will pass any, and if you see here, this is first success is 100 millisecond, and now here what we have done is we have run with any, and after 600 we will get this flight details, and after 300 we will get this error just because we pass here true. If you run this one, after 600 millisecond it was giving the flight details but not this success. Now here is the catch. As you know, the Promise.any waits for first success. If all of the promises are getting failed or rejected, then what it will return? Let me check with that one also. Right here all the promises is rejected, and here we have here we are using Promise.any. So if you run this one, you can see here aggregate error. After 9 seconds it was giving aggregate error. All the promises were rejected. So this is how Promise.any is working. That's the Promise API toolkit. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to us. We'll see you in the next episode.